Welcome to Ancestral Garden. Stop looking at your feet. For centuries, we have been trained to believe that the harvest is buried in the dirt. We associate potatoes with hard labor, with mud on our boots, with sweat on our backs. We think we have to dig a hole to find food, but nature has a loophole. What if I told you that you could grow 50 pounds of potatoes without ever touching a shovel? Imagine walking into your garden and picking a potato off a vine, just like you pick a grape, suspended in the air, clean, perfect. And gravity does the harvesting for you. No dirt to scrub off, no trenches to dig, no worms to fight. This is not science fiction, and it is not genetic engineering. This is an ancient crop that the modern world forgot. They call it the air potato, and it turns the rules of agriculture upside down. While your neighbors are breaking their backs tilling the heavy clay soil, you could be harvesting a vertical wall of carbohydrates. But there is a catch. There is a reason why you don't see this in the grocery store, and there is a dangerous secret about this plant that you need to know before you take a bite, because if you pick the wrong one, it's not dinner, it's poison. By the end of this video, I will teach you how to identify the true yam, avoid the toxic imposter, and turn a simple chain-link fence into a food factory. To understand why this crop is a game changer, you have to look at the geometry of your garden. Traditional agriculture is flat. It is two-dimensional. You are limited by the square footage of the ground. If you have a small backyard, you run out of space fast. You plant 10 potato plants, and your garden is full. But nature doesn't work in 2D. Nature works in 3D. This plant, Dioscorea bulbifera, realized millions of years ago that the ground is crowded. So it evolved to climb. It bypasses the competition. It spirals up trees, fences, and walls, reaching for the sunlight that the ground crops can't reach. And here is the biological miracle. Instead of sending all its energy back down to the roots to make tubers, it decided to store its starch right there on the vine. It creates aerial tubers. These are calorie-dense energy packs that hang in the air like ornaments on a Christmas tree. Think about the efficiency of that. You are not wasting energy digging. The plant is not wasting energy pushing against heavy soil. It is pure frictionless production. But this isn't just about biology. It is about your lifestyle. I want to do a reality check with you right now. Look at your living situation. Do you have 50 acres of farmland? Or do you live in the suburbs? Or maybe an apartment with a tiny balcony? Most of us are staring at fences, walls, and railings that are doing absolutely nothing. We call ourselves land poor, yet we have thousands of square feet of vertical space that is completely empty. I want you to pick a side. Are you going to stay trapped on the flat earth of traditional gardening? Or are you ready to claim the sky? Type the word vertical in the comments if you want to turn your empty walls into a food supply. Let's see how many sky farmers we have in this community. Because the plant we are about to discuss doesn't care if you have soil. It can grow out of a pot. It can grow out of a bucket. As long as it has something to climb, it will feed you. So, scientifically speaking, what are these strange rock-like objects hanging over your head? They are not fruit. They are not seeds. Botanically, they are aerial tubers. In a normal plant, the leaves collect solar energy and send it all the way down the stem deep into the ground to be stored in the roots. It is a long, expensive journey. But the Dioscorea bulbifera is a genius of efficiency. It stops the shipment halfway. It stores the starch right next to the solar panels, the leaves. It forms these tubers at the axil, the joint, where the leaf meets the vine. It creates a battery right next to the charger. This is why they grow so fast. This is why a single vine can produce hundreds of pounds of food. But looking at them, they look like meteorites. They look like gray rocks. So the big question is, do they taste good? This is where the air potato surprises everyone. Because technically, it is not a potato. It is a true yam. When you steam it, boil it, or roast it. The texture is not mealy or dry like a russet baking potato. It is silky. It is waxy and smooth like a high-quality red potato or a Yukon Gold. The flavor is subtle, nutty, and slightly sweet. And because it grows in the air, it lacks that earthy dirt taste that some root vegetables have. But the best part, the preparation. Remember peeling dirty potatoes over the sink? The mud, the scrubbing. With the air potato, you just rinse off a little dust. The skin is paper thin. You can peel it with a spoon or just eat it. It creates the fluffiest mashed potatoes you have ever tasted. It holds its shape in soups and curries without dissolving. It is in every culinary way superior to the crop we have been digging out of the mud for centuries. But nature is a trickster. She made two versions of this plant. One is a superfood that could end world hunger. The other contains a steroid compound that can shut down your liver. And they look almost identical. Here is the cold, hard truth. In the southern United States, specifically Florida, there is a war going on against this plant. There is a wild invasive variety of Dioscorea bulbifera that is so aggressive it swallows entire forests, it grows 8 inches a day, it chokes trees to death, and the potatoes it drops are poisonous. They contain diosgenin and other unpalatable furans. If you eat them raw, they are toxic. If you eat them cooked, they are incredibly bitter and can damage your liver. So, how do you make sure you are planting the food and not the poison? You have to look at the skin. Rule number 1. The toad versus the stone. The toxic, wild variety usually produces bulbs that are round and covered in bumpy warts. They look like the skin of a toad. The edible cultivated variety, often from Hawaii or Asia, looks different. It has smooth skin. It is angular with flat sides like a chiseled gray stone or a meteorite. Rule number 2. The color test. When you cut open the toxic variety, the flesh is often purple or pinkish beneath the skin. The edible sky potato has flesh that is creamy yellow or bright white, just like a normal potato. Rule number 3. The source. Never forage this plant in the wild. If you find a vine growing in the woods in Florida or Georgia, assume it is the enemy. Do not eat it. Only grow tubers that you have sourced from a reputable nursery or an Asian market, where they are sold specifically for food. Nature is generous, but she is not harmless. She demands that you pay attention. But once you have the right seed, the true yam, growing it is almost laughably easy. You don't need a tractor. You don't even need a shovel. You just need a wall. Here is your battle plan for the coming spring. Step 1. The setup. Find a sunny spot next to a fence, a trellis, or even a sturdy tree. This vine is heavy. It can grow 40 feet long. Do not plant it next to a fragile flower stake. It needs a strong backbone. Step 2. The planting. Take your edible seed bulb. You don't need to bury it deep. Just press it halfway into the soil like a gemstone, or cover it with just 1 inch of dirt. That's it. No digging trenches. Step 3. The climb. Once it sprouts, it will shoot up like a rocket. Your only job is to guide it to the fence. Once it grabs hold, your work is done. You don't need to hill the soil. You don't need to weed underneath it. The shadow of the leaves will suppress the weeds for you. Step 4. The harvest. In late autumn, the leaves will turn yellow and die back. This is the signal. Walk out to your garden. Look at the ground. You will see dozens of gray stones lying there, or hanging loosely from the dry vines. Pick them up, put them in a basket. 0 digging, 0 washing. And here is the final superpower. A regular potato will rot in your pantry in a few weeks if you aren't careful. The air potato. It is a survival capsule. You can store it in a cool, dry place for 4 to 5 months. It will not rot. It will not sprout until spring returns. It is the ultimate prepper food. We are living in an era where we need to rethink how we eat. We cannot keep relying on systems that destroy the soil and break our backs. The solution has been hanging over our heads for thousands of years. The ancient Polynesians knew it. The African farmers knew it. And now you know it. You don't need a farm to feed your family. You just need to change your perspective. Stop looking down at the dirt. Start looking up at the potential. If you are ready to stop digging and start climbing, I want you to claim your new identity. Type the words "Sky Farmer" in the comments below. Let the world know that the future of agriculture is vertical. Hit the like button if you think gardening should be smarter, not harder. And subscribe to Ancestral Garden, because the best harvest is the one you can pick while standing up.